Hey y'all. Hey Trey Lovely Blogs. We already got folks in the building.
Oh
Hey
yeah.
Ashley with your Marvel shirt on and your
Yes.
top knot
Yes,
bun.
please
Yeah.
support Marvel. Okay. You help black women when you support
Wow.
Marvel.
Hi Season. Thank you for joining us straight off the road, a long
Yes.
drive.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
was
that's
torture,
right.
y'all.
I
Shit.
know. Hey, MD Terp says, good evening, ladies. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I wasn't sure if we would have a recap today because, it's right after the holidays, but this was such a good episode. So I'm really happy that my girls are joining me, that y'all are joining me. Hey, Melanie. Hey, 33. So, okay. Now, let's start off with the first scene. Issa Rae does the whole hey wait now I predicted it was going to be like a little fake out thing, but it had me going. Like, she walked up, she was being like, oh, can we pretend this isn't weird? Then she did the whole holding the baby and it was going somewhere and I was like, oh, look at Issa, she's being so mature about this is really wonderful. Then it goes into fantasy mode where she throws the baby, kicks the gondola, and walks off laughing. That was classic Insecure. I'm gonna start with you, Ashley. Your reaction. We all knew it was gonna be a fake out, right? But
Oh
how?
my
I mean, they
God.
were brilliant with the way they did it, though, right?
Yes, they absolutely did a great job with the fantasy realism. But I believed it at first. I was
Me
yelling at the
too. It
screen
had me
like, "Oh my
going.
God, no, bitch, no, you did not! Like, you broke all rules by walking over to them and you holding a fucking baby." So
Oh
yes,
my
they
goodness.
had me. They had me. But when she did a 3-pointer with that fucking baby, oh
Balling.
my God,
She
I
was
was I
making it
was
rain
thinking
with the baby.
they absolutely brought the meme to real life. I know y'all seen that meme.
Yes,
So yes,
yes, yes.
I was here for every bit of it. It was a great scene. I loved it. I loved it. The fear in Lawrence's eyes. Thank you. Every fuck boy should have that fear in his eyes. Yeah, I was here for it.
Well,
Yeah.
let me go to the comments. Now, it's gonna be a little awkward because I don't have my little mouse pad with me, so I'm gonna be looking weird. Let's see. Let's see. MD Turp says, when Issa Rae threw that baby, laughed my ass off. I screamed. Hey, it's Murphy. Melanie Johnson was like, I was like, say what? Then holler. I was hollering, laughing. It was so funny. Hey, Michelle can't stay, but hey, girl, hey. The 33 said, like a bitch. I was like, oh, not the baby. Hey, James. Hey, S. Murphy. Hey, Calvin. Season, now I know you gonna rain on a parade and tell us it wasn't even that funny, but go ahead. What was your reaction? Wait. Trey Lovely blog says that baby toss and dropkick was epic. We thought it was epic, so you're probably on number season. What'd you think?
Uh,
no,
Oh, come
no
on,
comment. Okay, no
man.
comment.
I mean, when she said "fuck that baby," I did laugh because that is said quite a bit in my group chats.
Yeah,
Fuck them
yeah.
kids and stuff.
Fuck them kids.
Um, that's all I got.
Well, I mean, I think it's funny because, right? Like, I mean, obviously, seeing Lawrence and Condola is like her worst nightmare,
Mhm.
and I think, like, you have when let's say you're in a situation like Issa's in, your half of mine is like, I hope that if I'm ever like faced with it, I would be mature. But then there's the other part of it that's like, I would totally be completely fucked up about it and like
Yeah.
want to just kick that baby, and like so like I feel like she got like both sides of what you would want to do and what you would also want to do, right?
But is
Ash.
there like real
Yes.
animosity between Issa and Condola? Like, what am I missing here? Why is she so?
I don't
Where's
think
this
it's
animosity?
animosity. I don't think it's necessarily personal beef. I think it's just the role that Conjula plays. She's the baby mama. She is the one that essentially quote unquote won. So I think it's just that her role is the issue, not necessarily, her
Oh,
Conjula herself. Because they never had any problems. They worked together, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were very friendly. Hey, MD Terp, can you block this psycho in the comments, please? Or I'll have to go in there and do it. Um, the 33, if you're not let me make some more people moderators because these, I don't know what the hell's going on with
I
the
just
comments.
reported them. Let me see.
Yeah, are you a moderator? Whoever, I need to make some more moderators because motherfuckers ain't got nothing better to do. Well, the funny part about it is I feel like Issa and Condola were always very positive towards each other, and Issa went out of her way to make it seem like I'm cool with you and Lawrence, like it's not bothering me, like I've moved on, yada yada yada. And so, I mean, it's obviously a huge difference with Condola getting knocked up while they were dating. So I think that there's a little bit of like kind of mixed feelings about the fact that like they're friendly, but at the same time it's like what the fuck, like that's my man, so sorry,
But
I'm
then
low
so they have the second scene where Condola drop kicks her.
Now
What's that about?
So I loved, okay, let's fast forward to that. 1 second, sorry. Okay, let's fast forward to that scene because I love that scene, with Condola, Issa Rae. Somebody said I love the Ally McBeal fantasies. I used to love Ally McBeal. That was my shit. Anyways, when she's out getting her food. And at first I thought, I was like, okay, is Condola really there? And now she just imagined this, but she just completely pulled Condola out of her ass with this fantasy. But she was like, another kind of worst nightmare for some people was like, you saw the woman that won, right? Like you put in all this work, you've invested all this time, you walk away, and yet you feel like the other person won from all of your hard work. So that whole rundown, I thought it was just absolutely classic. Season, what was your reaction to that one?
I mean, clearly it was just ironic because Issa got that little snapshot at the hospital, and now her whole perception is Condola's winning. Because now Lawrence is back in LA and they look like the cute little family dressed in all black at the hospital. But little do she know he out here being an asshole. So
yeah,
it's just funny how like I've been in situations where I've seen an ex with a new chick, and I would be like, damn, it's like that. But then fast forward a year or two later, I hear what's really going on.
right.
Or, I'm able to swoop in and circle back, and it'd be like, oh, I thought you was in love or whatever. So it's just funny how you can get a little snapshot and your perception just runs off, and that ain't what's going on at all.
Yeah, and I mean, literally,
like, wow, like, do she really hate Condola like that? Or were they beefing like that? I just don't remember that.
No, and Condola does not have that energy at all. You know what I'm saying? I think Condola will be super humble about meeting with Issa. Obviously, season, like you said, it ain't been all gravy. Obviously, Issa is really jumping to a lot of conclusions, and it is like a fantasy of sorts, right? Let me go to some of the comments before I go to you, Issa. Let's see. I need to get my little mouse situation together. The baby is cute, Michelle. That is a cute
baby. When they
kid.
did that close up of that baby,
so cute.
Baby.
S. Murphy says, ain't no female going to be cool. All that. Jess Kev says, Issa with the baby jump shot. I guess James, we are talking about Insecure. The 33 says that second scene was funny. Condola was like, I'm a winner, and the long stroke longer. she went all the way there. I mean, it's fake Condola, right? But like, she went all the way there. Like everything that Issa would hate to find out is happening now. Like she just threw it out there. So it kind of gives you an idea of Issa's psyche around Lawrence. And obviously there's still some hangups there around it. Melanie says she's imagining them as the happy family she wanted someday. Well, remember season 1, or was it one of these seasons, season 1, the end of the season before they moved out, and Issa had this like flash forward to her and Lawrence being happily ever after. It was just such a beautiful scene. And so I think that Issa is maybe my perception is maybe she is thinking like, well, this could have been me. This could have been the life that I had if I hadn't just like, dropped him because he got a baby. Obviously that's a legitimate reason to drop somebody, but I think that might be where she's coming from with it. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Karina. Ashley, your reaction to Condola scene number 2.
It really felt real. And when I say it felt real, I'm talking about the fantasy that she put on Condola, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're imagining that this girl she winning, she got all these great things going on with this dude. You really are putting this fantasy out there and like fucking with yourself. And that's what I know. I've been there. I've absolutely been there to where I've broken up with an ex and I've seen that one little flash picture or one little thing, and it's like, okay, wait. I'm sitting here single. I'm sitting here with nobody. And this nigga that went on and, he's all happy and shit, so it
Yeah.
really does put you in that mindset. So seeing Issa and Condola's reaction, first of all, she played the hell out of that Condola scene.
Yeah, she did.
I don't know her real name, but she did
Christina
very well.
Elmore, I think is her name. Yeah.
Yeah, she did very well with the whole like bragging and, playing it up and being dramatic with it. But when she was like, yeah, he makes $1 billion a month, it's like, girl.
Jay, no, she said a day. Like, that's what like, this is just fucking with you in the head.
Yeah, it's like, okay, girl, now you're going a little bit too far.
Like, his dick got bigger. He's making $1 billion a day. Like, come on.
This is still Lawrence we talking about. He ain't gone that far from where he was when he was with you. So I just, one thing with the recap, they do that like wind down. The director, the woman that plays Kelly, directed this episode.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic job.
She did a great job. She did.
But she was saying that this whole episode was about changes and also your choices, is what she said.
Choices.
So it's really just Issa dealing with her choice. Like, you made this choice. This is where now Lawrence has landed because of your choice.
Well, we don't know where Lawrence has landed. I mean, there's assumptions. In her mind, right? Trey Lovely Block said that was an Instagram type of moment for Condola and Lawrence's family setup. Mm-hmm. People post the best moments in their lives. Absolutely true. I didn't even see Condola on his page. I saw Lawrence with the baby. Issa's perception is not what's really happening. Trey Lovely also says she played that scene talking about Christina Elmore. Let me see. But that wasn't that moment of outing build type of thing. Yes. I like the petty version of Condola. Her facial expressions were killing. Here is my takeaway from that scene, though. I loved when Condola kicked her and then was like, bitch, own your choices. And I think that is like the ultimate thing. Like, I feel like, this show is insecure, right? Obviously. So it's very rare that the show ever approaches things from like a woman empowerment thing, even though it's like run by women. But like for me, or women, but for me,
every episode,
that's never not going to be funny to me. Women. Anyway, for me, whenever I broke it up with somebody, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you hit the lotto tomorrow. Like, you're done. Like, you don't exist to me. Bye-bye. See you later. You're expunged from my record. So it's just like, I have never had the attitude of like, oh, what are they up to now? Oh, they're happy. Or like, I've just never been like, I don't give a fuck. It wasn't going to work with us. And that's all that I care about, And so I can't relate to the whole notion of like, oh, wow, look at all these great things that's happening for him. That should have been me. Because I just like, I don't want to be with your ass. So it don't really matter what the fuck happened. I wasn't going to be happy with you and vice versa. But I'm sure I'm probably a unicorn with that kind of.
But I mean, when you're in that fresh pain, right? Like she's not in fresh pain. She's not in fresh pain. Yeah. But she is still letting go of that dream she had, right? Like you're still in that phase of a breakup. So I can understand that you've gotten to this point and then you have this big flash. She didn't see a picture. She didn't see a video. She saw them in her face being that family. So I think that's what really is the difference. Like it's easy to block somebody and never talk to them again, out of sight, out of mind. But that moment of her seeing them, and it was just like, I did not expect to see you in this most random place at this time. And y'all like for real look like a cute ass family.
Yeah, I mean, she might be having a I should have had a Gabrielle Union moment, like Gabrielle Union in her now 40s is like, I wouldn't have stayed, but bitch, you stay, and you've been happily married since then. Well, from what we see, happily married. So maybe, I don't know if they're trying to say like, hey, what's a break baby amongst friends? Like, I don't know where they're going with it, but I will say, Season, do you have anything else to chime in on that?
Yeah, you're a unicorn because I'll be like, Let me see what my bitch ass ex up to, and look him all the way up and be like, yeah. But I do cut him off. I do go cold turkey. But if anybody want to give me an update,
sometimes I like to look in the gutter at the trash.
Like, oh, look at that sack of shit rolling down the street.
Like, girl, I know you miserable.
Okay, there go what's her name? I'm looking at a garbage truck passing by, but I mean, yeah, I do think it is a difference though to see somebody in person as opposed to on social media.
That makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference, but
I mean, she's also imagining now. I mean, the hospital thing was one thing, but like she's out just eating like tacos or whatever the fuck, imagining running into Condola and Condola like stunning on
that was extra.
Like that's a little bit a lot.
Why?
Okay, y'all ain't never imagined if you ran into the other bitch what would happen in person.
No,
y'all ain't never. Y'all ain't never imagined.
First of all, I've always
never felt that emotion.
I mean, y'all ain't never thought like if I ever saw this bitch in person, I'd probably either punch her, laugh at her, like whatever it is. Y'all ain't never thought that. Okay, I guess I'm a unicorn then.
Okay, in the comments, are y'all with Ash? Have you ever imagined confronting or see, this is the thing. She didn't just imagine confronting. She imagined being stunted on. Ain't no
imagine ever
stunning on this one right here. I don't give a fuck if you have
She imagined running into her and what that conversation. Have you ever imagined running into an ex that you know, somewhere, somehow, and what that conversation would be like? Y'all ain't never thought about that.
No, but I would say it would definitely be a Tony Braxton. He was a man enough for me. What are you thinking? Do you know about your hubby? Back then, he was thinking about him, but you married him. I'll make him sad. Oh, yeah. Just stay with me. He was a man enough for me. Yes, bitch. That's the only kind of conversation we will be having up in the movie.
I need you to stay with Johns Hopkins, okay? I need you to keep that.
I know. I forgive me for my voice, but Caesar, you know, Tamar was in the Tony video. Me and Caesar will be having a shoulder motherfucking shit going on. He wasn't man enough for me.
Okay. All right,
we are not the ones you want to be with. If your man, your ex new bitch, we gonna be like, he wasn't man enough. Look at her.
You would laugh, even if you imagine, like, if I ever ran into this bitch, I would laugh at her if she said something to me. Y'all ain't never imagined
what bitch? What ex? I don't even have exes. I don't even know what you're talking about.
True. I don't have any exes.
Don't believe these two, okay, y'all? This is fake news.
It's like I made a video about Kamala. I said that a coochie fax is like an Equifax. After 7 years, the shit is expunged.
No, let me tell you, I ain't got no kids. So according to law, I'm still a virgin. I ain't got no kids. Ain't no proof. Okay.
Okay. MD Term says, I've had that conversation with an ex. It was super awkward. Well, what was the conversation? Spill the tea.
Tell
okay.
us.
So, Season, you have not fantasized about getting stunted on like Ashley has.
Y'all playing me tonight. Okay. I see what we doing. Okay.
I'm just saying. Because I'm just saying the conversation would go there.
Who's going to stun on me? I can't imagine.
You know what? Nobody is saying these bitches is stunting on me, y'all. Let's
okay, Ashley. Okay, we're gonna take a detour. What was the Ally McBeal fantasy conversation that you had? Just tell us. Just give us a snippet of it.
This is more interesting than tonight.
Okay, we're the exes, girl. Okay, and scene go. Action.
Like for instance, I have two people. I ain't gonna say no names that will get punched on fucking sight. Right? Ooh. Like that's just it. It's on site. That's just what it is. Y'all haven't thought about that? Like somebody y'all will like fuck up on site? Come on, man.
I do have one person I would slap.
Y'all acting like y'all ain't never imagined.
Oh, you have somebody who would slap
bitches.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
but she ain't take like, my man or
this bitch in person.
Oh, so you're talking about so you're talking about slapping the bitch, not slapping your ex.
The conversation with another female that is for whatever relationship. It could be an ex's girl, it could be your ex itself if you ever ran into them. Like you've had that idea of, or it could be like preparation. Like if I ever was to run into this person at the grocery store, Season, you've said before, I'll ignore them and act like I don't know who they are. Like that's what you would do.
I would be like, nice to meet you. And your name again?
Yes.
Who are
Yes,
you?
so y'all
I
just
don't
like
know you.
Issa. Y'all
Oh,
just
are
like
you?
Issa.
Hey, do I know you?
Yeah, I'll pull that.
See? Okay, I'm not alone. Vindication.
Okay, you're not alone, Ashley. I'm just saying, for me personally speaking, I can't speak for anybody else. I don't give a fuck about nobody that I've ever been with because they don't exist. They never happened. Never happened. You got to
Okay.
show me some
Yeah.
receipts that it
I
happened.
don't know
Yes,
her.
never
I don't
happened.
know
I
her.
don't know him. I like Mariah. I don't know him.
I don't know. I don't know
Who
them.
are they? Who's that?
Who you talking about? Bitch,
Who else do we
I'm
don't
good
like?
over here. Anyway, okay, we've talked about that enough. But the whole point is it's own your choices. Now, I was actually really surprised that the episode didn't immediately go into like Issa's having second thoughts about Nathan. What it actually went into was Issa trying to, what did you say, Ashley?
Fuck him into saying I love you. Okay, she tried to fucking I love you out of him. That's what she tried to do.
Terrible.
She did.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Embarrassing.
Did a terrible job too. Like, damn girl, I know his thighs is rubbing
She
kind
was.
of
I
hard
was
right now.
even I wasn't that impressed, and I'm
I
like,
thought
yeah,
she was stressed out. I thought she was maybe thinking about like Lawrence, and then she was like, "Oh, do you love anything else?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." So she is stressing out about the fact that she said "I love you" and he hasn't said it back. I mean, do you guys think it was that, or do you think it was Lawrence that was in her mind? I couldn't tell.
Both.
I think she needs validation right now.
Mm.
She's thinking about Lawrence and this happy family he got, and
Mhm.
she needs to feel like she got something popping going on. Because, I mean, I didn't think I thought her telling Lawrence that, or what, Nathan, that
Nathan,
she said that's what I love. Did she say that's what I love about you, or
she
that's
said
why
that's
I
why I
love?
love. She said that's why I
Okay,
love. She did say.
I thought that was a slip of the tongue. I didn't think it
Yeah.
that serious. I mean, she didn't even want to call him her boyfriend on FaceTime with her mama, but she in love with him. So
That's
I
true.
just thought that was weird. But he said, baby, you weren't riding it enough to be the I love you, honey. Okay. There was no sweat, no nothing.
And you
You
have to
wasn't
be
even
drunk to kind
Did you
of
have
force.
did you
hitting it
have your
like
hand on
that.
a ball?
You
Like, did
didn't
you
do
do anything?
anything.
No
I
You
was
gotta
like,
have
Lisa, you're
you have to be
playing.
drunk to fuck it out of person. Okay, you
Yeah, I'm
both have
like,
to
I
be
you
don't
drunk.
know
playing. You play with
personally,
this
just so it's
man.
a disclaimer out there. I'm just saying what I've seen on TV that you should be
Allegedly.
doing.
Allegedly.
Well, Melanie says
Like,
it's obvious. Issa is obvious is realizing that Nathan is a serious downgrade from Lawrence. I
mhm.
don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I can see
The
it.
Okay, wait, we're gonna revisit that. But the 33 says that sex scene was like, Issa, let's not do this. That sex scene was awkward as hell, is what Trey Lovely Block says. You
Mhm.
think that Nathan is a downgrade from Lawrence? Why would you say
No,
that?
I don't think Nathan is a downgrade because I think Lawrence is a piece of fucking trash. So I definitely don't think that he's a
Okay.
downgrade. But I don't necessarily think that she was thinking, oh shit, I've downgraded because of who Nathan is. I think she was thinking I was so closer to marriage, family, kids, love, all of
Well,
that
she was definitely
to
closer to being a
now.
stepmom.
Yeah, like her and Lawrence was making plans and shit, before he said about the baby. So I think
That
she
is
felt
true.
like, I was further in the game than I am right now with Nathan. And I'm over here, he said he want to be my boyfriend. And now I'm seeing Lawrence and his happy family. And, I think she probably wasn't tripping as bad until she saw Lawrence and his family.
Okay. Melanie says Issa was fishing. Melanie Johnson, there's two Melodies, Melanie J and then now Melanie G, saying he's a manic depressive, barely employed, almost homeless guy, and Lawrence, like it or not, checks all the boxes, comes from upper mid. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's not even close, ladies, but people have their bias. Whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, yes, he does have a mental, condition.
Yeah. He's bipolar.
However, he clearly has a very nice place. And he's an entrepreneur. He's a barber. He's a successful
Yeah.
barber. And Lawrence being upper middle class and all that shit didn't stop from having a whole ass break, baby, and moving across the state with his ex-girlfriend, booty call, whatever the fuck, pregnant with
Abandoning
his
his
child.
baby. Let's say he abandoned his baby.
He moved on without his child. Okay, his child to be. And so I'm not saying well Lawrence is this such an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think strictly on terms of like resume and if you want to call it that pedigree, maybe. But I mean, let's look at what's actually happening in real life right now. Like, hello. I'm not with you on that with Melanie G, but we're all entitled to our opinion. And I mean, but what I will say to your point, Ashley, or was it Season? Whichever one. She was closer with Lawrence, despite the whole break baby thing, because they were really heading towards a path of like, we're going to be exclusive. They had that long history. Obviously, you know, remember when they first got back together, he had the conversation about buying her a ring. So it probably felt like it was just right there. Plus things are like looking up for her career, but it's a lot to get over the whole break baby situation. So it's understandable. And I mean, I think, you know, I'm not going to name names, but I feel like there have been situations, and I can say I'll say I've been in a situation where, you know, you're with somebody, they fuck up royally, like royally. And it's like, then all of a sudden they want to promise you the whole fucking world. And it's like, you know, you have to decide in that moment, like, okay, cool. Like now you're trying to give me what I've been wanting this whole time, even though it's coming on the heels of you being a fucking piece of shit. So I'm going to go with that. Or you decide to take a chance and, you know, go back out there and start from scratch. I started from scratch and now look at me, very much happy, very much better off. So I'm a proponent of like, shit, bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a fucked up situation, but there are people who do kind of ride it through and then they're also happy. So, I mean, I think it could go both ways. There are so many comments coming in. Hold on, Caesar, before we get to you. Okay. Lori says, like Nathan said, Issa's all over the place. Yes, we're going to get to that. Melanie J says, I wish she had someone new instead of recycling old dudes. Well, I mean, I think with this being the season finale, I don't mind it being Nathan, but Nathan is going down in stock. S. Murphy says, right, she was further in the game with Lawrence. Melanie says, and she's from Stanford. Usually as Black women, we say we want certain things, but then we ended up liking the unstable guy. Now, she was also driving Lyft like 2 months ago. So, or a year ago. So, I mean,
a lot of credit here.
Yeah, I mean, Issa is not like typical Stanford, like, oh, she went to Stanford. Like Molly, yes. Issa, not so much. But she's getting it together, so we're for that. We're for, you know, growth, as Kelly would say. 33 says, Nathan is bipolar, but he has kept his job at the barbershop for over a year. Nathan is in a good place in his life. S. Murphy says they're both making moves, but Issa would have to decide who she's going to build with. Yes, this is true, but you're building with the person who has a family already. Keep that. Like, are we skipping over the whole family part? Because I know I say this every week, I have a new baby. But I'm just saying, like, as a person, as a new mom, like, that's a big fucking deal. That this guy has a whole ass baby and a whole ass family over there. Like, that's a lot to take on.
Season, as a nurse, you feel that way too, right?
I know, I always say that too. Now, Melanie G, and then we're gonna go to Season, says most women don't go to Stanford to end up with an unstable, bipolar, barely employed barber. Well, we've already established that. Especially if their previous boyfriend was doing big things.
She's a lot. She's doing a lot.
Also, most people who go to Stanford don't end up driving Lyft either for like and being an apartment manager. Like, come on, like let's remember who we're talking about here. Also, let's also remember that the previous boyfriend was doing big things, second and fucking with Condola, and that's why he has a whole baby.
His baby trump everything, girl. I don't care how much he making. His baby trump it all.
And this isn't like, oh, it's not like, oh, Lawrence went away and he came back and he has a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old and him and the baby mama are never together and they got all this shit worked. Like, this is a whole brand new baby. Okay. Well, that's my opinion. Now, Season, but you get the last.
Making a point because Nathan Nathan broke? He not broke though, right?
Nathan looks like he has a very nice place. He had his own place before Issa had a place that she isn't basically an apartment manager for getting subsidized rent.
The argument isn't that Nathan is, you know.
The argument is that Nathan is unstable.
They fit each other, is what I hear. Because she was just like she was broke. Her and Kelly had a conversation about her finances last season, right? And she was like hella broke.
Yes. Now, Melanie, I will throw you a bone here because, and we're gonna get to it. We're trying to go in order of the show, though, Melanie. So walk with us here, okay? We respond to things as they come up. So, Now, by the end of the show, it does seem like Nathan has some red flags popping back up. To your point. Oh, the 33 says, Melanie, do you remember Lawrence caught an STD? He has his own issues. Okay. All right. So, but I mean, now, Melanie, if you're talking about at the end, the conversation him and Issa had, that I can go with you on that, but we haven't gotten there yet. We're going chronological order.
Melanie
Okay.
is talking about on paper, Lawrence is better. I can agree on paper. Lawrence is better. As a person, Lawrence is bullshit.
Okay, Jessica says, I agree with Seasons. Nathan is way too unstable. Caesar, you did not say that, did you? Don't put words in Seasons.
No, what I said, I said it seems like the argument being made tonight is that Nathan is unstable and Lawrence is not, both mentally and financially. That's the argument being made in the comments. I don't agree with that. I think that, clearly Lawrence checks a lot of boxes off. Okay. But here's my thing. Okay.
Put it out.
I always go back to first season Lawrence, who was on that girl's couch, not paying no fucking bills, not working, chasing a dream. That is a selfish man. Period. And he has continued to show that throughout all these damn seasons. And the 1 minute it seemed like he was starting to wake up and really appreciate an opportunity given to him or a good woman in his corner, he finds out he has a baby on the way. Now, granted, 2 people fucking might result in a baby. So I'm sure that was neither one of their intentions. But that does change the course of his life. However, just because he got the education and the job, he still comes off as a selfish ass man. He does not strike me as a provider, as someone who is supportive. He just don't strike me as that. So as far as Nathan, I get it. Like, especially in an economy like LA, we could easily call any nigga running around LA broke. And I don't really hold his mental health against him if it is under control, and he's handling it. Because honestly, Issa's a fucking weirdo to me. I'm not gonna sit up here and run around acting like she's the biggest catch. However, I do want to see her happy, and I had no idea she even went to Stanford until that stupid ass
I was shocked.
That was a waste of our time. So
she doesn't. Her character is not Stanford pedigree to me. Like, not like her upbringing, but I'm saying what she's doing with her life did not give me Stanford at all. I was very shocked at all.
I was very shocked. I guess my point is, speaking from experience, I've encountered a lot of checkbox good on paper guys, and the deeper you dig, the more you realize they're not all they chopped up to be. Now, that's no reason to go run to the broke dude with mental health issues, but you gotta be smart and make better decisions than that, because a man with a new baby is off limits, period, if you have any sense about yourself. Now, if she wants to circle back to Lawrence later, okay. But
that's what I'm saying. That's a different situation.
He does not need to be on the he does not need to be on the list of potentials. Period. Like, there's just there's no disputing that for me. So I don't care what kind of issues Nathan has. Lawrence is a no. Period.
Right. Melanie, I applaud you, though. You are absolutely giving us Kellyanne Conway, spokesperson, spinning. She said, Issa is not corporate and work nonprofit. People from prestigious schools do that sometimes. She also drives Lyft. I'm just trying to put out, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with driving Lyft, but don't say Stanford, Issa, this and the other, and then let's not, sugarcoat. Okay. And let's be honest, barbers are making bank nowadays. Like, it costs money to get your haircut. It costs money to get your damn hair silk press, sew in, motherfucking passion twist, shit. Even the little two braids, lemonade braids, they run you a bag. So let's not act like people who do, hair cut whatever, they make money. Okay, they make good money. They're not broke. And obviously
and
he
in
didn't
a
have.
year, Nathan got in a year he became a successful business owner. Let's be very clear.
He was a successful business owner even before this year, remember? Because they celebrated the anniversary,
Oh, that's right.
at the beginning of this season. So, like, he's been doing good things.
He's been doing very well. Yeah,
Now,
Nathan's definitely a better choice.
to be fair, Nathan, his issues did pop up. We're not going to be ableist and talk about him being bipolar or whatever situation may be, because that's not a disqualifying factor. I don't think that disqualifies. Certain people, if they feel like I can't handle that, that's fine. But I don't think it's valid to just count him out because he has.
Can I address Melanie real quick with this?
Okay, go ahead. Melanie is taking off. We just basically have a recap with Melanie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about this double standard, right? Because when it comes
wait. So Melanie says if single moms are seen as good options, why not single dads, especially successful single dads? It's a double standard.
Thank you. He is not a single dad. He does not have that child at all. We just found out that at the end of this episode that he's now moved back. But let's be very clear. This great, good on paper guy went ahead, followed this dream, went to a whole nother city, moved away from his child. The episode before this, when they focused on Condola and Lawrence, he was like really living his best life, not giving a shit what was going on back with Condola while she was struggling, living a single mom life, taking care of that baby. He abandoned that kid. And I won't say abandoned because they've already told me that's pretty harsh and he didn't really abandon it. But in my eyes, he was not with that child at all, which means he is not considered a single dad. And on top of that, it's the fact of if I am a woman and I am dating a man with a child and that child is under a certain age, aka a newborn, I should not be demanding that man's time. I would be selfish, right? Because he should be spending that time with his newborn baby, right? Even if he's not with the mom, if he's that good of a dude, he would be successfully co-parenting or at least working towards a successful co-parenting situation. Lawrence has been selfish since season 1, episode 1. Even with his little depression, he's been selfish. He's been selfish all the way up until the last 5 minutes of this episode. So when we say that, dating a man with kids, it's not just about dating a man with children. Like if he got a 10-year-old and you date him, that's a difference than dating a man with a newborn. It doesn't matter what's on paper. He has a brand new baby. That is causing too much issues on its own. Why do that? So it ain't a double standard. It's a standard. It's a standard.
Also, let's be clear. We're not talking about single parents. We're talking about specific characters on a TV show that is fictional. Yeah, and so it's not an indictment on single parents. It's not a dogma that's going out about every person's situations. We're talking about the specific circumstances that we watched unfold over the past season and some change. That's what we're talking about. Let's just level set, okay? It's not single dads, it's Lawrence. Okay, but anyways, let's move back to, because Lawrence ain't barely even in the episode. So let's talk about Nathan. So Nathan has his situation at the barbershop. Now, this episode was all about belligerent ass niggas. I was like, oh my God, like you niggas is killing me this episode. The dude, the barber comes in and got his rent late, talking shit. Like, out of pocket, flag on play altogether. Okay, he didn't have his rent. He kept his clients waiting, and he doesn't pull his weight around the shop. And he come in there throwing low blows. Like, I don't, it's fucked up. Like, why would you immediately go to, him, this guy is crazy, whatever. Like, it's just, you just a dumbass nigga. Like, I was just disgusted with the situation. Ashley, you first. Your reaction.
I think he was just ignorant as fuck. He a
Mm-hmm.
ghetto ass nigga who don't know nothing else. Because for you to automatically go straight to like he's crazy, he's this, it's like, dude, first of all, you thought you ate, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That was a terrible fucking diss. You are not making any type of sense with this. You just mad that he got that money and you didn't. Like it was really just like, instead of you coming in humble, right? Coming in humble because you always fucking late and people always picking up after you. You came in with an attitude. You didn't have no appreciation that he saved your client. Like your client was ready to bounce and he was like, fuck it, I'll take you. You already here. Why would I send you home when you already here? Like
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. I just cannot stand that nigga mentality, boy. Like the lack of accountability these niggas be having in these streets. You have no
Yeah.
accountability. Then you get defensive. That's how I know you already recognize you wrong. When a person
Yeah.
becomes defensive about a situation, they know they're wrong and they just don't want to be called out on it. They just wanted you to brush by it and act like it didn't happen. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if that's what happens in a barbershop on the daily. Like, I don't go in barbershops. You know, even when I was single, I heard that was where you go meet niggas, but but I don't
Well,
know if that's a normal conversation, but I've definitely heard that vernacular from that level of intelligence from a nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like you're an idiot.
yeah. So Melanie says, I was so pissed at Barbershop, dude. Everyone should have rallied behind Nathan. Stick a pin in that. Nathan's coworker
Absolutely.
was trash at 33 says, Trey Lovely blog says that nasty barber came in strong and wrong. That dude needs to be shown the door. You're not gonna be in my shop disrespecting like that. He went in for his mental health and he's the wrong one. Yes. Karina's back. Hey girl. Lori Janey says that guy's super unprofessional. This needs to stop. In the hair care industry, where is the customer service? He was really like feeling himself because he had a celebrity client, but that doesn't mean that you just treat everybody
I'm
else
gonna
like shit.
take Wu
Hello.
Tang from y'all. I'm gonna take Wu Tang.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch the name, but yeah, okay, that's fine. Jessica says he would have been fired or caught them hands. He was trash. And let's see, 33. He had 2 clients waiting, not just one. He wasn't even on the shop and gave no ETA. Okay. Season. Oh, and Karina says that guy was so disrespectful and immature. Season, your reaction to dumbass barber guy.
Yeah, man. I mean, the level of bitch assness shown on tonight's episode by these men was like so high. I was just really like shocked or whatever. But I mean, here's my thing. If you doing such big things, you got these big brand, big name clients, like you should be grateful somebody helping your ass out because you get to focus on the famous folks or whatever. Like you, if you really trying to hold it down and bring the shop good business and publicity, then what do you care if one person who's getting tired of your shit gets helped by somebody else? So it is definitely ungrateful. But I do know, I mean, I've heard of there being rules like, and men are very loyal to their hair, to their barbers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy because, Reese, we were talking about this last week, just how disrespectful these hair um, professionals are, and just
Mm-hmm.
all they rules and how
Mm-hmm.
fucking rude they can be, and how they expect perfection from their clients, but they be all out of pocket. So
Hello.
it's just, I just think, unfortunately, it's just an industry that's catching a really bad rap right now because
Mm-hmm.
they be fucking playing, and if they in there acting like that towards each other when they get some assistance, then that would have been my last time coming back. So
Yeah.
I don't get that whole dynamic. I know how real that can be, but he was an asshole. He
Yeah,
was
he
definitely a jerk.
and he went from like 0 to 100. Like, damn, motherfucker.
Real.
Like, why
He
are
walked
you?
in hot.
Yeah, it's team too much. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to get all the troops rallied against him. I do feel like the other people should have had his back a little bit more. I mean, I think they kind of did. Like it was like low key, but it wasn't like specifically on the issue of Nathan's, bipolar. They just kind of like skirt over that part. You know what I'm saying? They kind of deflected to other things, and I feel like especially in our community, there is a stigma behind that, and when people do have it under control, it's still thrown up in their faces, and that's not healthy for people who are actually
At
trying
all.
to, they shouldn't be defined by that, and so I feel like they owed him a little bit more than what they showed him in that moment, but And I think that's why we saw that manifest in the conversation that Nathan had with Issa. Now, that whole conversation, I felt like I was on both of their sides because I think they both made really good points. Nathan, kind of being down about what happened at the shop, but before he could even get to, like, Issa could even ask him like, oh, what happened or whatever, he drops this bomb like, oh, maybe LA isn't for me. So I'm with Issa, like, okay, now hold on, let's address that part. So Nathan was like, well, you didn't even ask me what happened or why I'm feeling that way. Okay, I get that, Nathan, but you also kind of went there. Like, I feel like saying like maybe LA isn't for me is dropping a bomb that has to be addressed. So I feel like if he wanted to just talk about the shop and what happened there, he should have left the whole like leaving LA part out of it. What do you guys think in the comments? And Ashley, your reaction to just how that whole conversation went. Like, I mean, do you think Issa was in the wrong, or do you think Nathan was in the wrong? Were they both in the wrong, or were they both in the right?
I think they both had conversations that they wanted to have with the other, but they both didn't know how to bring it up.
Okay.
And I think it manifested in sly comments and, personal attacks or feeling, kind of protective of their feelings. So like Nathan says this whole thing of he doesn't think LA is for him. Well, we already know you go ghost. So now, since you ghosted me before, I'm on guard. Now it's like, well, you telling my mama that I'm your girlfriend, and now you telling me you want to go to LA. It's like, okay, I already saw Lawrence. I'm already in my feelings about whatever that is. And now you're showing me that you about to bounce on me too. Just like I could see her emotions going in a fucking spiral within that conversation. I can also understand, I think it's kind of manipulative that Nathan was like, damn, you didn't even ask me how my day was. It's like, come on, bro, really?
Like, he said you didn't ask me why I'm feeling this way.
Yeah. And it's like, don't have an expectation of what I should be saying in that conversation when you're not even saying exactly what you want to say. You're saying this comment to spark this conversation to lead to how you really feel it. Come out the gate and say how you feel it. Tell me how your day was.
Yeah.
And I think with that, it just, we can do chicken and egg of who should have did what and who should have did this, but it's like, I can definitely see how that spiraled out to something crazy off of just one simple comment. You're already in your feelings.
And I don't think it's fair that he tried to say like, oh, now you're making it about you. Like, you made it about me when you just said that you might pick up and leave. That's a huge deal. I think that Issa was completely justified in what she said. Like, well, it seems like, I'm the one that's committing here and you're kind of not all in. I understood where she was coming from in terms of saying I love you. That was her choice. I also understood where he was coming from too. Let me go to some of these comments because y'all are saying a lot before I go to season. Let's see.
Ooh, because she got something to say.
I don't know. Maybe Melanie G bounced. Okay, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't.
Go, girl.
I don't know. She hasn't said anything.
Stability.
This is we're dragging Nathan. This should be up your alley since you're so down on Nathan.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
This unstable loser, Nathan.
See, we're balanced. People say bias. Let's see. Karina says, "Oh wait. Let me go up one more. I skipped one.
It's her time to shine.
It's your time, girl. Come on."
Melanie says they should have told dude he was doing too much. Yes. 33 says, yes, it was a bomb saying I'm thinking about leaving LA. Yeah, that is a bomb. Karina says, yeah, Nathan dropped a bomb on her, and I also think it was Issa's insecurity of Lawrence leaving LA that triggered her reaction. Absolutely. Melanie says, right, Nathan has been a runner in the past, so that's triggering for Issa. It's very triggering. Michelle says he went from 0 to 60 really fast. I don't know if you're talking about the barber or Nathan, but that was my reaction to, whoa, you have one fucked up interaction at the barbershop and now you're talking about running like for the hills. Like, that's a little bit of an overreaction. And huh?
Have we ever seen that guy before?
I don't know. I don't recall him being in any other episode. Karina says also Nathan left before. He is Ghost Bay. Hello. Trey Lovely says, yes, he didn't hint that there was a big blow up at work that day, right? He just went that I'm thinking about leaving LA. Yeah, he said I'm thinking about leaving the shop. I don't know about them folks, but that's not, that much. I would have pulled on that thread a little bit more, but if you say them folks and I'm leaving LA, like the LA part is what would have grabbed me. Um,
Mhm.
I understand the scene. Wait, okay. Oh yeah, I understand why Issa was feeling put off on by that. Yes, MD Terp says that scene was a lesson on how so many couples have piss poor communication. That is the hallmark of insecure is poor communication. I do psychotherapy with couples, and communication is so much the key to a dysfunctional relationship. Right. People need to learn how to express their feelings and not hide things. I get it's a defense mechanism, but not being transparent causes misunderstanding. Be open and transparent, active listen. Absolutely. Plus, Trey Lovely says, plus when they first got together, first time he split on her, right? Let's see. Nathan saying you didn't ask about my feelings. That's so typical. Melanie says, I gave up with reasoning with you ladies.
Oh,
We're talking
don't
about
do that.
Nathan. We're talking about Nathan being unstable. This is right up your alley.
Sorry,
See,
girl. It's
people
just
they don't want to acknowledge when we're saying the things that they agree with. They just like to make it seem like we're just so off on the deep end. Anyways, Lori says, I needed Nathan to put a bigger fight for himself in the shop and his relationship. You just can't run from your problems. And Karina says, why did Nathan have to throw all that in Issa's face with the you all over the place? Okay, that was a lot to chew on. Season, your reactions to how that whole thing went down.
Okay, so this is my thing. If my husband comes home from work and he says he had a hard day and he don't know about them niggas and he don't think such and such is for him, that's a full stop moment for me.
Right.
Like, okay, we need to figure out what happened, because for you to get to this entire conclusion that you may not be in the right place at all, for me, I'm stopping the conversation and focusing totally on him.
Right.
but put
It's
yourself in Issa's shoes though. Not thinking about you and your marriage and what you would say in your marriage, but in Issa's shoes with everything that's happened, Nathan saying this to her or to you. That's your
so
boyfriend,
what? I don't care about Issa's shoes, like, because Issa is all over the place. She's not articulate. So for her to be like, for her to jump straight to, well, wait, what about me? No, boo, just find out what the hell he talking about. It might be something like you can talk him down from and be like, whatever. So I thought that was weird that she didn't even ask, like, well, damn, what happened? Because I really thought like the beach episode where they were
Mhm.
both dealing with a lot and they were able to come together at the end, like, damn, we really understand each other. I thought we were going to get another moment like that, because she's dealing with all her shit at work with Crenshaw or whatever
Right.
sabotaging her, and then he's dealing with his shit at work. So I thought they were going to come together and talk, and it was going to be another affirming moment for their relationship. But instead, she didn't even ask, like, what the hell is going on. She's like, well, what about me? I told you I loved you yesterday, and now you talking about you want to leave. He didn't say he wanted to leave LA. He just said he's rethinking things. So I think that was a missed opportunity for Issa. But he did do the typical thing, which is flip it. Like, wait a minute, you not even bothering to ask about me. What about you telling me you love me? You've been sending mixed signals. Like, okay, but that's not stopping you from beating it up and eating Chinese takeout with her. So we
This is
not
true.
really finna go there about mixed signals, because you enjoying the signals you getting right now. So
Hello.
so it definitely went left, but I feel like it was a missed opportunity for on Issa's behalf, because she wasn't trying to talk about her day. She kind of blew off him asking about her day. So see what's going on with him.
I think you make a really excellent point there. The episode was short too. Like it wasn't like they didn't have an extra minute for him to be like, well, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm with you. Like for me, it would have been a showstopper. Like, okay, well, wait a minute. Well, how did we get here? You know, that would have been my first thing. Is like, how did we get here? What happened at work? You got to tell me what's going on, because that sounds like a lot. I wouldn't have immediately jumped into, well, what about me situation with that, because like it wasn't like they were just sitting up there like eating Chinese food, and he's like, oh, I'm thinking about leaving LA. Like that would have been super left field. Like it's obvious that he's something happened. He's feeling some kind of way, and maybe he's being a little bit over dramatic about it. And so for me, I'd have been like red flag. But at the same time, in that moment, I would have been like, okay, let's unpack this a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that Issa's not, she's like a person who deals with stuff either like with humor or with being super fucking awkward and poor communication. Like, so she's not an unpacker. Okay. She's not a person who's going to like walk you through everything that's going on. So it tracks for her character. I still think, though, that she wasn't really totally in the wrong because it was a bomb that's dropped. And to your point, Ashley, she's feeling vulnerable. She's feeling insecure. She's kind of gone all in with Nathan. She left her hanging with the whole I love you situation. She's clearly trying to beat it out of him. And so, I think that she's feeling further away with Nathan than she was with Lawrence before she pulled the plug on that. And I think all of that swirling in there is like made her react in that moment. And I think my prediction, even though it didn't show this in the preview, my prediction is this is obviously leading us back to probably Issa and Lawrence, right? Because to me, this episode, it didn't make sense what they were fighting for. Like, it was like, okay, we should be past this at this point. Like, y'all can't even get through a how's your day conversation without it turning into what the fuck this shit is. Like, it's giving weird because it's like y'all have this whole we understand each other, y'all have this whole all this shit, and then all of a sudden y'all don't even I mean it's been back and forth, right? But I just feel like it's very weird to me that we're here with them. Yeah. And it's very weird that with Nathan, he is kind of like willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But that's his past. He has done that before where he's gotten overwhelmed and he's just completely ghosted on Issa. So it's triggering. So I'm like all over the place like Issa. But to be fair, Nathan was correct. Issa has been all over the place. But as Season said, he's been right there with her. So you can't be like, you're all over the place. And that's an issue when you keep kind of going on the roller coaster ride. You got to get the fuck off or be like, this is my stop. And you come. When you circle back around here and you want to go in a straight line, not a zigzag, then I'll holler at you. So, okay. I know that was a lot. Let's see. Melanie says Nathan has been a runner in the past. It's triggering. Okay, wait. I already read those. Sorry. Okay, sorry. There's a lot of comments. I'm trying to get to them. Okay, so let me go here. Karina says, did he ever consider Issa was guarded considering how he ghosted her in the past? Clearly not. I think he should have been considerate of the fact that he has ghosted her and how that could be triggering. I don't think that that's an unreasonable consideration. The 33 says, I think it's safe to say that Nathan is the type of person that is a runner. Oh, I think I already read that. Michelle says, I see Season's point of view. Karina also agrees with Season, but unfortunately insecurity takes over and compels you to say stupid shit to your partner sometimes. Karina, Issa struggles with conversation. That is true. Okay.
I mean, she's showing love to be worried about him dipping on her again. Like, she needs to chill. I just think that's the problem. She needs to chill. If she has all these fears and issues and I need to know this, I need to know that, like, she should rethink why she wants all those things. And that's why I think this episode, she's really just been seeking validation because she does not seem concerned with Nathan's past. She wants what she wants now. She wants that commitment, and it's like, girl, you need
it doesn't matter if he's ready or not.
Because you need to figure that out. Like, are you scared? Are you insecure? Do you just need validation? She's putting a lot on Nathan.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think that she's being unrealistic, but I mean unfair in terms of her expectations because she's been the one that's been the holdout between the two of them. And now she's on board, and I think she was kind of expecting him to be like more like gung-ho than what he is. And Lori says maybe she's trying to make Nathan someone he's not ready to be. I don't know
how much time has passed between the beach party and
at least a couple of weeks. Because I mean, if you think about it, the time like Molly's mom has been in the hospital for a couple of weeks at this point, you know,
Yeah.
because the retreat, she's off at the retreat, and they mentioned something about a couple of weeks being passing by. Um,
No, I
so
mean from the time the beach party where she didn't even know if he was talking to her to when Molly's mom first went into the
I think it
hospital.
was a couple of weeks because I think they did the whole montage of them like, you know, doing shit. You know, I think that's kind of the way that they kind
Okay.
of show stuff. But I mean, at any rate, I just feel like I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn because I'm doubting that Issa. You know, okay, let me say this with Lawrence, right? Remember when Lawrence was like, "Oh, I'm considering interviewing in San Francisco," and she's like, "Well, we'll work it out." And I feel like she was a lot more like, "Hey, say raw," and like kind of like she's willing to kind of work on whatever, and you know, trying to be very like hands off. Like I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm not trying to dictate your life. And but with Nathan, it's like she's in a completely opposite space where she really wants that validation and she wants that assurance. And I think that is because of the fact that you know she's you know because of this whole thing that's rolling over here with Lawrence, you know, and she had been broken up with Lawrence, so it's not like it's been a short amount of time. She's been broken up with Lawrence for over a year now, so it's stupid that he's still lingering over there. But anyways, okay. Let's move on. We've talked about them enough. Crenshaw, all I would say is I don't understand why Issa had to go groveling towards him. He did the exact show he wanted to do. So I don't even understand what the fuck his problem is. Like, you're upset that she asked you to change your show based on the sponsors who are paying for the show, which you did not actually do. So what's the problem, dumbass? Like what?
Everybody
I feel
won.
like I'm missing something. What are you? What, am I missing?
He should have just backed out the show altogether. Instead, he still used her time and her effort and her connections, did the show, and now he want to shit on her. Boy, fuck you. Go back to jail. I hope your warehouse burns down. Like, you're doing them fucking most right now. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's an unnecessary asshole. He's an
Yeah, I'm
unnecessary
I'm
asshole.
I'm
Like
over
now
that
you're making a
whole
shirt.
thing. Yeah,
You
he's a
already
bitch.
got what you wanted off of her. You've already gone to Twitter and acted a fool on there. And now you're gonna capitalize on it even more by making shirts to continue the conversation of dragging her. Fuck you. Like, fuck you. That shit is trash.
you
Shit
know,
And if
is
there's
no
a
good
company
deed.
that goes with him, like you don't need that company because the way she explained it, and I'm glad she stood up for herself and was like, dude, you act like we ain't out here trying to get it. Like I set up a deal for both of us to win, and you won. Like it's not you still waiting on
you
results,
eating,
nigga. You
nigga, and
you
you
eating
got these
off this
people in
shit.
here talking shit to me.
Yeah. And now you
Mm.
dragging my fucking name out here because you think I'm not a part of the cause when I am the cause. Get the fuck out of here.
I agree.
Like,
And she said, I'm not trying to be driving Lyft no more. So the fuck, like we
right.
both came up, like I don't get it. But you know what? Honestly, like fine, fuck off. Like she's still doing big things. You know, this social media shit is stupid. Like the other group that decided to turn her down.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Like if you want to go with whoever's being dragged on Twitter today, that's really, really stupid because it's always somebody's fake mad about something. So whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Let
think
them
it's
be mad.
good like you know what cool because then if that's what you're gonna go off of then you probably be the kind of person to run to Twitter or run to whoever put me on blast and I ain't got time for that next time have motherfuckers sign an NDA, okay, then that'll solve all that
Yeah.
shit. If you gonna do the Hollywood shit, go Hollywood NDA, boom boom boom, and
Yeah.
that's it, motherfucker. I'm gonna sue
Mm.
your ass and then we ain't even
Trey's
gotta talk.
comment.
Huh?
Trey's comment.
Trey says, okay, Lori says, hi, bitch ass in this episode. Trey says, I think they are trying to make a point about people feeling like woke people are toxic and overly PC. It's annoying as hell. Crenshaw's character is a dick. Look, I hate even using the word woke because white people have completely fucking ruined it because I can like the woke shit to me gets on my fucking nerves sometimes. It's like, you know what? Go to fucking sleep sometimes. Just go to bed. Go take a nap. Like you too damn woke. Take some ZQL because it's stupid. And you know, people be dragging people over this so-called authenticity and real and for the community. Everybody is out to get paid, including Crenshaw. Okay, because I'm sure them
Yeah.
sweaters ain't motherfucking $5.99. The motherfuckers probably 59, 69, 79,
Yeah.
89, $100. Okay. So all this shit, it's just like it's getting ridiculous. But you know, like I said, if that's what you want to roll with, the people, the other little artists, if you want to roll with that, cool. Then stay the fuck over there, because it's getting ridiculous. But it's not stopping Issa's flow. It's just fucking with her like ego a
It's
little
fucking with
bit.
her money.
It is messing with
It's
her
fucking with her
money.
money.
Well, it's fucking with her maybe recruiting certain people, but she's her events are in LA Magazine. She has prestigious
Yeah,
people that have
sure.
signed on to her. So it's not really stopping anything, but it is a nuisance. Like obviously, you don't want people slandering you and making you out to be like you're like the ops or whatever. There are people who really are the ops out there. Issa is not one of those people.
She is
And
not one of them.
at the end of the day, he did exactly what he wanted to do. Like my response would be like, excuse me, you put on the exact show that you wanted to do. What the fuck is the problem? Like, period. But one other thing about these little arguments, I've seen them time and time and again. You can't win an argument online with the wokes. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like they just gonna drag you. The best thing you could do was just let the shit ride and go on about your business. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, fuck Crenshaw. I think it's stupid. It does not make any sense. His gripe does not make any sense. The only point of it is to, I guess, show Issa not having a perfectly successful, situation going on. All right, let's talk about Molly, then we're done. So Molly, she's off at the retreat and she's trying to juggle, obviously stay in contact with her family. I think Issa is wonderful for being a good friend. Not too much to write home about there though. But she is really like distracted, and rightfully so, right? Because she doesn't want to miss anything. She feels guilt about it. Ashley, just overall, what was your reaction to Molly's retreat and all that good stuff?
Okay, that's what I was asking. Did she have sex? That's the boss she was sleeping with, right?
No, she wasn't. She's always had a rivalry with Torian.
She was sleeping with one of her. Oh, maybe I'm thinking about Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. Never mind. Okay, so
Yeah.
I thought
she hasn't been getting no work.
She was sleeping with one of her bosses that was married though, wasn't she?
She slept with a married guy, but it was not her boss. It was like
okay, it's Dre.
Yeah,
okay,
bro.
So her and first of all, I completely understand her being on her phone and like wanting to know what's going on with her mom because she's not there. And it's clear she's the more responsible one out of her fucking parents and siblings. So I can understand, her feeling like, because that's her mom, you want to know what's going on. But I am so happy that they showed her siblings and showed like people being there and like the family support, especially like she's off to work. Nobody made her feel bad, or guilty for leaving her mom and going off into this retreat. Like they really do support each other. And I love that about these scenes. Like the whole Molly concept through this episode, I really enjoyed. First of all, I thought she looked really pretty. Her haircut fits her very well.
Yeah. And her wardrobe was always flawless.
God.
I want every outfit she ever wears on this show.
Yes. They dress Molly like she is a for real lawyer from Stanford. That's what I would imagine.
Yes, Melanie G.
Yeah.
Molly gives us Stanford, okay?
She definitely, like, sorry, but Issa gives us C-Sun, okay? Like, I don't see it.
I can say that because I was going to say Cal State, Cal Poly Pomona.
I'd say, nah.
I would say Hayward.
Dominguez.
She gives Dominguez Hills for sure.
She giving us Cal State Dominguez.
Definitely. Like, started off at LA College and ended up at Dominguez Hills. That's
for sure. No shade.
No shade.
But it ain't no Stanford. You ain't got no connections. You driving Lyft out of
But
Stanford.
okay, Molly.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I think that was a great scene. Especially him helping her out with the presentation, and then him like them having that conversation and him not like being an asshole about it or anything. Like even his little comment was still really good. And then when he found out, he was like so supportive of her. I loved it. Molly got the treatment that you would expect when you're going through something. She got it through her job. She got it through her family. It was a very well written like scene. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm glad she didn't fuck him though. Ooh.
Well, okay, we're gonna put a pin in that. Karina says I would have I would tell my team my mom is sick and I may have to step out of the room. My family calls.
Yeah.
Trey says, Ashley, you're spot on.
You hear that, season? Spot on.
Spot on.
Fan favorite here.
The 33 says, I was shocked Molly did not tell her team about her job and her mom. Melanie says, hey, I went to work at Cal Poly Pomona. Karina says it was nice to see Torian and Molly's relationship evolve into a more positive one. Molly, peace-minded, said Molly should have stayed home with her mom. Torian understood and retreats are technically not work and mostly team building. Okay. It tracks, but for me, just as a mature, career-driven person, it tracks from Molly's character. But on the other hand, as a mature, career-driven person, it makes no fucking sense whatsoever why she would not have come out and said, hey, my mother is fucking unconscious in a hospital from a stroke, so I'm going to have to offload some of these, responsibilities. And if anything happens, I need to drop everything or not come in the first place, I thought that Torian's reaction was great. He said that we're on the same team and work should not come before, real life. Season, do you think Molly, how does that make sense for her to kind of keep something? So, I get that Torian didn't talk about his brother going through cancer treatments. That's obviously very heavy and very serious, but that's still not your parent being unconscious in a hospital with severe damage that the doctor told her might not even be able to walk. That's a different story. Season, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I was so relieved when she told them what was going on. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous that she had gotten to that point where she didn't mention it to anybody. What the hell, girl? So I didn't get that whole thing. I think we are way too far into the whole self-care, mental health awareness, awakening that we all should have mental health day, stuff like we too far into that. We're too informed for that to be going through something as traumatic as a hospitalized parent in a coma, essentially in the hospital, and you at work acting like everything is cute. Now, her outfits, her wardrobe, those are the scene stealers for me. But I didn't get it. I struggle with how these folks communicate on this damn show.
I know.
Why do they make things so difficult for themselves? But I'm glad she finally told them. I expected nothing more but for them or her boss or whoever she spoke to be supportive. And clearly her getting toe up and stealing Rolexes and shit, she needed that break or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was nice for her to be able to see that she has family and her friend who's going to step up and help. So I think she needed the retreat personally. But she should have been more upfront while, with her coworkers. So she wasn't that distracted and she didn't look that incompetent at some point. So yeah, I just think it's super what's going on with these folks? Why can't nobody on this show just say what the fuck they mean and what's going on?
It shows her insecurities though, right? It shows her insecurity with work. It shows her, and I can understand if she was already feeling oh, do these people do they think I do a good job? But she's not in her first 90 days. I think that's what got me. You have been with this company long enough to where you should feel confident to be able to say, my mom is sick and I need to be there. It's not like in your first trial period, you just started this brand new job, your boss is a dick. You don't have that situation. So that's where it didn't track for me. They didn't bring up any turmoil she has at work. It's just you not saying nothing.
Yeah. So let me see what else says that. Melanie says, yeah, Melanie not telling people up front was purely TV drama. Yeah, I know, right? Because you have to have some tension somewhere. Trey says Torian was so supportive. I think she should have told people at her office that she had a family crisis. If they knew, she would have been able to be with her family. 33 says, normally people don't disclose their health issues to their boss, and people do that because they fear losing their job. Molly's in a good place at work, and her job would have not had a problem with it. Well, it's not disclosing her family issues. I understand, you might not be listen, I have this disease or I have this condition where people might look at me differently, you know, or I might be passed over for a promotion or whatever. But like literally, you're like, I don't know of a situation where it would make sense to not say that you have a parent or a child or a spouse that's in the hospital. I mean, I think that's where I struggle with the show. Like, I feel like the show has like 20-year-olds maturity level for a group of 30 plus.
Yeah.
And it's not written by 20 somethings. So I don't understand why the communication is so terrible consistently from every character on every episode in every circumstance. I don't understand that. But it's almost over, so I won't have much longer to complain about it. But I'm just like, I don't understand why basic shit is goes over their head. Like, who's writing this shit where they just don't want to put even a little bit of like being realistic of how this would ever go. But okay. I hope they reveal Molly's need to always be the star at work this season. I think they've been there. Her and Torian, I think they've been that. Will we see Dr. Rhonda again? Probably not. And where are Issa's neighbors like crazy ass Queen? I think we're gonna see a little bit of that in the previews. Lori says she's trying to upload an image at work she created. She was clearly embarrassed about letting loose on the retreat. Yeah, that's true. You know, you got to be careful. Don't mistake your coworkers as your friends. Okay. You can pretend you can kind of like make them feel like, oh, I'm getting, you know, fun Reese or fun Ashley, fun season, but in reality they still your coworkers and they get blackmail material. Like, but when I was dealing with them kind of people, it was before, you know, camera phones and all other kind of shit. But before I learned at that early stage, work people ain't your friends. Don't let loose. Okay, don't do shit you ain't got no business doing. Anyways, Peace Minded has a coma, not a cold. Molly's parties are ridiculous. Okay. So, I mean, I think that one thing I will say, it would make sense to me if somehow Molly ended up with Torian. Did y'all see that little embrace and this and the other? Like, that would, to me, I would be satisfied with that ending for Molly. I don't know if they're going to give her that, but I kind of think that I'm married to my, prior coworker. I think that coworkers are a great place to meet your spouse. Okay. Especially a successful coworker.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at? Ashley?
No, I mean, my man used to be my coworker, so I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Boom.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. At work, like first is college. That's where you meet eligible men. That's where you meet to have a pool of men. And then where else you go for 8 hours a day? Work. So it's understandable for you to have your work boyfriend, your work husband, and that turn into something, you know.
Just make sure it's not somebody else's husband.
Hello, can y'all stop that? Listen. It's like an epidemic. It's like an epidemic of just people dating.
Too. Y'all so cute.
Listen, I just say it would make, to me, I could see Molly and Torian. They're both very motivated, very successful. That he's the pedigree that she likes. You know, it makes sense. They started off awkward. Sometimes you have that, like, you know, rivalry turned lovers type of thing that happens. I think it will be a great ending for her.
Yeah.
We'll see if they do that. Because, you know, they don't tend to really give people much on this show.
Girl.
But anyway.
No expectation.
But I will say, Trey Lovely says, I think the communication is real life. Basically, this is my dang life and the players in it. Folks not talking to each other and all that mess that goes down because of it. I hear you. I do think there are a lot of people who are poor at communicating. For me, I'm just like a person that I'm not confrontational. I will let shit roll off, but I'm not going to look like an asshole when I could just communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will just be straight up like, look, this is what I got going on. I'm not going to be keeping people in suspense and then people walking around looking like, well, what the fuck is her problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just be straight up with it. So that's why I just can't relate. But anyway, 33 says, the Christmas work party will have you in trouble for sure. Coworkers are not your friends. S. Murphy says, I could see Molly and Torian. All right. That's where I think they might be going with it, but this was episode 6, right? Or 7?
Yeah. So we got what?
Episode
4
6. So we still got 4, but there's time. There is time. Now the previews, the girls are back together. The gang is back. So
I'm so excited about it. I'm excited about this next episode.
I think it's going to be fun. I think, it's not going to move the plot forward a lot much, but I think it's always fun to see the girls back together. We'll see what happens with it. I couldn't tell, the previews always kind of fake you out a little bit with the door knocks and who's showing up on whose door. But I'm just thinking that, I don't know. It's not looking good for Nathan at this point. It's not looking good for Nathan. I don't know what exactly I saw, but I kind of get that impression. So we'll see if the girls kind of be like, girl, check yourself. You've been all over the place. Or if they're like, you still love Lawrence. I don't know which way they're going to go with that. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. This was a longer recap. We did not mean to be this long. Everybody tired, child. But appreciate y'all for coming and sticking with us. And see you back next week. Talk about the gang being back together again. Bye, y'all.